Hi there, this is Adrienne Green, Realtor with Sampson Properties, and today I wanted to talk to my investors about different property classes that you may hear or consider when you're thinking about investing. And so we're going to talk about 4 different property classes here. It's really simple. It's A, B, C, or D. And I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of each so that you have an idea. And it's a great way to kind of think about and evaluate different properties as you look at them. There's pros and cons to each, so there's no one answer about what class is the best to invest in. It depends on your area and your own personal lifestyle, goals, history, skill set, etc. All right, so let's get started here, and we're going to talk first about property class A. All right, A, I want you to think it's either new or very updated. It's in a desirable neighborhood. All right, so this is maybe you're buying something that is brand new and it's totally move-in ready, and it's in the place with the schools that have an 8, 9, or 10 on greatschools.org or something like that. All right, now with those properties, they're going to command the highest rent, right? Because they are the nicest places in the best areas. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the best cash flow or return, all right? Because you're also paying a premium up front for all these other things that are getting that rent so high, all right? So what's making the rent high is also probably making your purchase price high. Now, what these A properties are great for are for people who don't have any expertise or time to deal with maintenance issues, all right? Those people might be willing to pay a premium for not having to spend time and money on maintenance, okay? They'd rather have a lower cash flow up front, but realize that that's an expense that they're not going to have in terms of both expense in terms of time and money. We always want to consider our expenses in terms of time as well, all right? So then we also, moving on from A, we have B. So B is generally good enough, right? It's not new, but it may be updated, or it might be old enough that it's still passable, okay? So, maybe something 15 years old that hasn't been updated, or if it's older that it has been updated, or maybe partially updated. And your rents are not going to be as high as A, right? It's not premium, beautiful, granite counters, et cetera, et cetera. But it is possible that your cash flow or return may be better than it is with an A, because you should have a lower purchase price for a B than you do for an A. So it's possible that even though your rent is lower, in terms of percentage return, you're getting a better return. Now, something to consider with B is maintenance costs. Again, this depends on, and this is kind of what goes into your own personal, what's best for you, but consider maintenance costs are a potential for B depending on how old it is and how updated it is, that you might have to consider that, all right? And then moving on, of course, to C. Shocking, right? So C is going to be in a little bit lower income area, and those buildings are something that we would consider older and not updated yet. So of course you're going to have lower rents, but you could have a very affordable purchase price, okay? You want to also, again with C, consider maintenance costs, but consider your tenants as well. So are the tenants here in a C going to be as needy with something in the middle of the night as somebody who's in an A? All right, so that might be a factor in terms of maintenance costs as well. There's always a lot of factors, and that's why there's no rule about X, Y, and Z is the best investment property or anything like that, because it depends on so many things. But I'm just trying to give you guys some of the factors or things to think about as you evaluate properties and a framework to help you. All right, and then we have D. All right, and D is something that for most investors is not necessarily a smart choice. There are people who've done very well with Ds, but they're not the right fit for the majority of people, okay? If they're the right fit for you, fabulous. Go enjoy it, all right? Make money. All right, so D is characterized as what I would call a sketchy area with crime. You would have potentially vacant buildings, boarded up buildings, graffiti, things like that is what we're talking about, what you would see in a D area. The stereotypical picture of a D house is like this place with boarded up windows and a like steel pole drying line out back, clothes drying line out back, that's made with like the steel poles and everything like that. That's like the stereotypical picture of a D, is all those things put together. Now the thing with these D areas is that there will be properties that you can get super cheap. And so if you have some sort of expertise with fixing up, contracting, flipping, stuff like that, there is the potential that you could update some of these really derelict properties and rent them out and make money. But consider the area. You're never going to have a super high rent or anything like that. Sometimes people identify an area that's currently a D, but it's gentrifying, and they get in there early and they are able to profit off of the gentrification. So that is something that some people do, but keep in mind that that is a roll of the dice and not a sure thing. But those are kind of a quick summary of these different property types. And like I said, they're just a great framework to keep in mind as you evaluate different property types and realize the pros and cons of each. So we had A, B, C, and D. There's more about them online, but I just wanted to take a minute to make sure that those people who are watching my videos have an exposure to them. And I'm happy to discuss them with you in person or anything like that. If you're looking at investing in any of those, just reach out. So I hope that helps those of you who are looking at investment properties. Questions, comments, please write them below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you liked the video, click the thumbs up to like it, the big red subscribe button if you haven't already, and the bell next to that if you'd like to turn on notifications so that your phone or computer will let you know the next time I post. Thanks so much. Adrienne Green, Realtor with Sampson Properties. Have a great day.